Hello, my name is JP Giacomini. The horse is Adonis, a 2-year-old Andalusian stallion that my wife Shelley and I bred at Broke Farms, USA, and the rider is Davina Becker, our working student from Germany. What you're seeing there is his second day of riding. The second day he had a saddle, the first day he had a rider actually on his back. And this is the end of those 2 days, and we're now going to show you in a little bit how we arrived to that point of forward, walk, trot, canter, halt, and confidence in the saddle. Now, as far as the equipment is concerned, there's a very small bit in the horse's mouth, but the bit is attached to the halter. The lunge line is attached to the side of the halter, and the reins have very little effect on the bit, mostly directly on the noseband of the halter. The whip Davina uses an endo stick, which has a soft foam ball at the end of it, and we used to tap on the horse's part that we want to direct one way or another. Right now she's tapping on his left shoulder to make him do a bigger circle, and the horse lowers his head and is quite relaxed from the effect of the tapping. That's one of the most important benefits of this tapping, called endo tapping. As you can tell, the horse is quite safe and goes to trot when we ask him, and she doesn't need to hold the reins tight at all because I'm controlling the horse with the lunge line. The lunge line method is the classical method of starting horses. It's a very important way of doing it. It makes it safe for the rider, and it saves the horse's mouth from all kind of actions that are really not necessary at this stage. This is the day before how we progressed on this work. So the horse is being tacked up in our grooming stall. The girth is not tight. There's no stirrups on it, and I'm holding him with the lunge line attached to the halter, as I said previously. As you can see, the girth is very loose. I don't want the horse to have any surprise. He's never had anything on his back except a blanket. During his previous year as a yearling, previous winter. The horse Adonis has learned to lunge as a yearling. He probably had 15-20 sessions on the lunge line of maybe 15-20 minutes each over a period of a year. Once in a while I would lunge him for a couple of days. Now you see his first reaction to the saddle. As you can tell, he's never had it before. It's the first moment he's feeling the lunge line, and he had a little buck on it. We're going to go in both directions. Everything we do is symmetrical. I'm not too concerned if he trots or canters at this point. I'm mostly pushing him forward, and he doesn't know his leads very well, and he's distracted by the saddle, so we don't worry about cross cantering or canter cantering. Just a matter that he goes forward. Now comes the very important part of his education. I'm using a paper bag, and I'm going to sack him out to the paper bag, but the difference of many other trainers, we do that sacking out in movement. You're going to see how we put the sack into the paper bag into a stirrup, and so the horse, by the way, the girth has been tightened a little bit since that, and he gets to live with that bag, which right now is a really big scary thing, as you can tell, but he's going to get used to it very quickly and learn to keep trotting forward with that distraction. That will make the riding and the accustomance to the rider much easier, because the rider is much more quiet and relaxing than that paper bag. Paper bag is a very scary thing, as you can imagine, but when he figures out that he can't get away from it, and the repetition of the touching of the flank makes it go better. This is the second day. The first day was dedicated entirely to the work with the paper bag on the left side, then the right side. I start again on the second day at point 0. The girth is a little tighter right from the start, and we're now doing the bag on the right side. I think I did not do the bag on the right side the day before. I did it only on the left side because I didn't want to get him tired by too much work. So now he's getting used to the right side, to the bag on the right. And he's very hesitant at first, and we just, you know, patiently wait for him to get used to it and start to go forward, which happens now. As you can tell, that bag is not such a huge deal anymore, but he's still a little hesitant. He has to go freely forward without worrying about any distraction. Forward is the key to horsemanship in general. First, it is the key to safety for the rider. While a horse is going forward, he's not thinking of bucking, rearing, turning around, or doing all the things you don't want him to do when you're sitting on him. Now we're putting the second bag on the left, which he's already been used to the previous day. As you can tell, he's very quiet, and Davina is rubbing him on the head and gently pulling on his forelock, which is something we do at every change of equipment. Here he goes with his two bags quite well. And at the end of maybe 10 minutes going with the bags, he is now willing to walk quietly as if the bags were not there anymore. His head is going down. Now we're getting into the meat of the action, which is getting on the horse. So I first helped Davina by giving her a leg up, and she's doing this very quietly, passing her leg over. Now, in the full movie that you can see by clicking on the link on your right, where you see the entire two sessions, you'll see that we do this quite a number of times. Repetition is the key to horses becoming relaxed. She's now getting off on the right side using the stirrup. And Adonis is very curious to know what somebody is doing on his back, but he's not a bit intimidated or worried about it. Every work we do is symmetrical, so now I'm giving her a leg from the right side, and she's passing the leg over, making sure she bumps him on the croup with her leg on the way up. She's moving the legs around, rubbing him on the flanks, getting him used to that. You can see his mouth moving and his tongue acting, which is all signs of relaxation. His ears are forward. Now she's learning to get on. She's teaching him to get on from the stirrup, because that's a different thing from a leg up, and she's going to have to do that later on. We also teach them to be mounted from the mounting block. We didn't do this in that session, but we'll do it in the next one. And here is Adonis going forward on a loose rein, both trot and cantering, and learning to stop by elevation of the hands. We will turn him loose maybe 2 or 3 sessions later, when he has learned to turn left and right with the help of the lunger. But for this horse, because he's a 2-year-old, we wanted to get him back now that it was easy and he's not too strong and he hasn't bred mares and so forth. But he's nearly not going to be ridden until he's actually a 3-year-old. Here's the end of the session, where Davina is getting off the horse very quietly. We do a lot of patting and touch him everywhere. He's now used to quite a lot, and you can see this was completely uneventful. I would say that just about 100% of our work looks like that, except some horses take a little bit more getting used to. We may have to do the paper bag on certain horses for 3 or 4 sessions until they're completely relaxed. This is a demonstration of the classic way of getting horses started. It has been done for centuries like that, and it's very successful.